Spring is coming, the ladybug. But today it's much colder than yesterday, so we are back in our snow coats. It's something about plus 7, maybe plus 5 degrees Celsius. And we are right now in the park called Natalka. Here we have, like, it's the edge of the park. This is the very new cathedral, very modern. You can see the blue glass on the top. Kiev has very many beautiful churches and cathedrals. This is one of the modern buildings, but we have very old too. The oldest is St. Sophia Cathedral, which is in the center, and it's 1,000 years old. This one is new. So hello everyone who joined us. So we did it. We are in the park, in the new location. We get here by our car. Kids are playing on this beautiful playground. Location is very beautiful. It's just next to the cathedral. No kids around, maybe because of the weather. It's really, windy, quite cold. I expected it would be a little more warm, because when we started driving here, there were not that many clouds even in the sky, but it's so fast, the wind and the gray sky. Probably it will be raining soon. So, of course, Darina is with us. She is sleeping. So this is our new stroller, the one that I keep in the car. It's light, it's small, so I can take it, I can put it into the boot and pick it up, just use it when we are somewhere outside. Yeah, one day sun, next day rain. This is the typical weather for Kiev. It's very changeable. And this is our beautiful, wonderful river called Dnipro, the Dnipro River. And the bridge that you can see, in the past it was called the Moscow Bridge, and the avenue next to the bridge there was called Moscow Avenue in the Soviet times and until recently in the independent Ukraine. But after Putin attacked Ukraine in 2014, the bridge was renamed. The avenue was renamed, so the avenue is now called instead of the avenue of Moscow, it's the avenue of Stepan Bandera. And maybe you've heard about Stepan Bandera. He is very demonized by this Russian propaganda as someone who was Nazi and who was cooperating with Hitler in the Second World War, and now he is like the national hero of Ukraine. So the figure of Stepan Bandera is very important for Ukrainian independence, because basically, yes, in the first year of the war, he was cooperating with Hitler, yes, but because the Ukrainian national forces, they were fighting against both totalitarian regimes of Stalin and of Hitler. But this cooperation was very short-termed, and very soon Bandera, he and the other, basically, he wasn't the only one, they started fighting against both regimes. They were, like, Ukraine was between Hitler and Stalin and was trying to get its independence. Moreover, Bandera was even arrested by the Hitler regime. He spent years in the concentration camps, like fascist Nazi German concentration camps, and finally he was killed in Austria by Soviet NKVD, by the secret Soviet police officer. And this is, describes the tragedy of our nation. How we were fighting between both totalitarian regimes, and we failed because we were occupied by Soviet regime in the end. Russia is using, this figure, demonizing him. I mean, you can call him controversial, if you wish, we can discuss this, but it's not one-side history. And if we are talking about someone who was cooperating with Hitler, we should talk about Soviets first of all, because we remember history how in 1939, in 1940, Stalin was sending, had a secret agreement with Hitler, and Stalin was sending materials and products to Germany to help to fight with the rest of the world, and they just decided how they gonna, change, how they're gonna occupy different parts of Europe. And like, for example, Stalin in 1939, he attacked Finland. Like, they decided, okay, we will use this opportunity and take a part of Finland, and still, this Karelia part of Finland belongs to Russia. But Finland did a great job to hit back and keep its independence. I'm sure Ukraine. So you can call Stalin Nazi too, yes, and all the Soviet generals and Soviet people, Russian people, in this case, right? Because they were cooperating with Nazi much more than Stepan Bandera. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, there is another story about Poles, about... You are right. Yeah, Finland is looking to join NATO very soon, and some Russian troops are already next to the Finland border. They thought they're gonna take Kiev and Ukraine in just 2-3 days. Yes, you remember this. And after this, they would move forward to Baltic states, to Poland, to Finland. Russia, wasn't hiding this information very much. But looks like something went wrong, and Putin stuck in Ukraine. And looks like we are even winning this war. And looks like the world, saw how brave Ukrainians are, and became much more brave as well. We can see that Europe is right now, before they were NATO and Europe, they were just, oh no, let's not escalate, let's be careful. But, after all these atrocities, war crimes that were recovered in Bucha, in Borodyanka, in Mariupol, after we saw that, after you guys realized that it's really the genocide here, and that Putin is completely crazy, and that he is not as powerful as he is showing off, and that he can really be stopped by Ukrainian people, because for us it's very serious to stop him, because we have two options, to be killed, everyone who is Ukrainian here, if we're occupied by Russia, or, just to fight and win. And it looks like the world see it, realizes it, and now helps us much more. And it looks like Putin will be stopped in Ukraine. So Baltic states will not be attacked by Russia, and Poland will not be attacked, and Finland will not be attacked, because we will stop together him here in Ukraine with your help. With your help, yes. And we are looking, for weapons. We need heavy weapons to stop Putin here, of course, because with our bare hands we cannot do this. Why can't Russia be happy with what they've got? Unthankful gits. Because they are still have imperialistic views. They think they are superior nation, and all the neighbors are silly children that need to be taught how to behave, that they are the best, and that we all, the neighbors, we have to have a strong desire to be part of Russia. And as they do not have anything to propose, high technologies, or some high values or something, they just come and destroy. In Mariupol, which is almost totally destroyed by Russians, there was a photograph of a Elon Musk car, of Tesla car, and on the car it was written Elon Musk Hui, which means dickhead. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, and the car was destroyed. It's like, you see, they cannot create their own supercar. What they can do, they can take the American supercar and destroy it and write, put the Russian flag on the top. So unfortunately, this is what Russia has right now. In all Russian history, their political system was never reformed. They are still like empire in their mind, and they want to be, on the top of the world, but they cannot do this by developing technologies, education or something. They are trying to do it with the help of aggression. So, well, I'm not a big political expert, by the way, so we'll see how it's going to develop. It's just my opinion. So where are the children? Throwing sand at each other. Not very good. Ай-яй-яй. Taras, Katjas. Ай-яй-яй. It's hard to be Russian neighbor. Oh yes, and you know this too well in Finland. But you guys in Finland, you did a very great job, and I really, dream about this, to be as separate from Russia as you guys in Finland. It's more complicated with us because we have our languages, Ukrainian and Russian, are both Cyrillic alphabet languages, and we have a lot of, in common in terms of the language, and there is a lot of language speculation. This is why keeping, Ukrainian language in Ukraine, supporting is very, very much important. Russia in the last 300 years, they were trying to destroy the language many times. In the end of 19th century, there were the laws that officially forbidden everything in Ukrainian language: books, notes, music, newspapers, everything. Just Ukrainian language was forbidden, completely illegal. In the Soviet times, it was more tricky already. It wasn't like openly forbidden, but the Ukrainian language was like not prestigious language. Like, for example, my parents, both of my mother and my father, originally they are from a small village in Ukraine, and they were speaking Ukrainian in their childhood, and their parents were speaking Ukrainian. But when my father, graduated from the institute, and he was sent to a small town of Izmail in the south, both of them, my mother and my father, they, shifted to speak Russian. Because if you wanted to be promoted, if you wanted to be, a good communist, if you wanted to be part of civilization in the town, you had to forget the funny language of the village, Ukrainian language, and speak Russian. That will show that you are an educated person and you can be promoted and so on. So when I was born, I did not speak Ukrainian at all. I didn't know the language. Only when in the summer my parents took me to the village to visit my grandparents. My grandfather, Sashko, I remember how he said, like, okay, you can speak whatever you want in your hometown with your parents, but when you come to the village, to my home, please speak Ukrainian. And I started to try speaking Ukrainian. And now, when I remember this, I feel so grateful to my grandfather that he said like this. So at school, at my small town, we had no Ukrainian schools. They were all Russian-speaking schools. And just an example, I had 4 hours a week of Ukrainian language. Everything else was in Russian. And 9 hours per week of English language. So by the age of 18, I was speaking English better than Ukrainian. Then we get to the institute where I met Serhiy, my husband. He is from the same region as me, from Odessa region, which was and is mostly Russian-speaking region. For because of Soviet propaganda, because of Soviet Russification machine. But here in Kiev, we decided to speak Ukrainian, both of us. In the institute in Kiev, we already started everything in Ukrainian language. And when our children were born, we talked to them only in Ukrainian language. So, you know, like my grandparents speak Ukrainian, my parents speak Ukrainian, shifted to Russian. We, in the childhood, speak Russian, then shifted to Ukrainian. And now my children speak Ukrainian. And I hope they will not shift to Russian language. You know, they will stay Ukrainian, and they will keep their identity as Ukrainians. You see, the language is very important. Poor Darina, I agree. Darinka, you see here it's very windy. Hello, darling. So I'm afraid if she woke up, we need to go home. We'll try, but she is usually very much afraid of the wind, and she doesn't like the wind. Okay, get up, darling. Okay. Hi, beautiful baby. Yeah, the location is very picturesque. I enjoy it very much. The park is really big, so it stretches all the way to this side, on the other side, and it has many, you know, playgrounds and sports ground, and the riverbank is like this, very nice and beautiful. You know, I hope this summer we will spend many days with all of us, with the family, because the war will be over. Yes, I hope so. Kisa. Cuckoo. Hello. Okay. Please tell me what part of your faith plays in your strengths. Well, guys, I will be honest with you. I'm not super religious in the classical way. I do not visit church regularly. By tradition, more like by tradition, I'm a Christian, Orthodox Christian. I was baptized in my childhood, even though my father was a communist, but secretly he baptized me in the bathroom, in the toilet, yeah, and my sister the same. So, for example, the Easter that will be coming here next week, so I will celebrate Easter in a week together with Christian Orthodox. Probably I will try to go to this church because it is Ukrainian church. But I do not, you know, often go to the church, like every Sunday, for example. My children, we baptized them too. Katya, Taras, hello. So they were baptized in their childhood in the Orthodox Church in the St. Michael's Cathedral. Darina is not baptized yet, but we will do this. But how, like, I'm honest with you, yes? This is more like keeping the Ukrainian tradition for me. I believe there is something in the sky that... Something in the sky, in my soul, in everything, in the grass, in the air. There is some kind of energy that unites us all, and I feel it. But I'm not like reading the Bible. I'm not sure that Jesus Christ as a person, as a man, really existed. I'm not sure. It's not that I deny it, but it's not like I would, you know, be sure in this. So I just know that I'm trying to be a good person, and the rules that I have, they are very similar to the moral rules, very similar to the rules that are given in the Bible. I feel like I'm walking around with you. So I see that many of people who joined my channel recently, that you are religious people. I can see it from your comments and so on. But many of us in Ukraine start, you know, becoming religious because of this war. You know, when death is knocking at your door, you're like, and something impossible happening to you that you cannot control, you're like start to think, oh God, please help me. Yes, when you are in big trouble, you start believing in God. So yeah, I feel something, you know, I feel faith, and I believe that light will prevail over darkness, and goodness will win something evil. I believe in this, yes. But like for me, religions like Orthodox, Catholic, Muslim, Islam, Buddhism, all of these religions are just the ways how people can explain to themselves this energy, this God. You can call him Allah, you can call him God, you can call him Buddha, you can call him this universe, the space, the spirit. It's just hard for people to understand, to explain, so we like try it, and this is why we have all these books and different interpretations. But finally, I believe that all of us are people that are united, but by one common faith, yes, energy. So this is about being human, being good, being kind. Like this. Here they are. Now I have a friend who often invites me to the church, to his church, and I like say, oh, I feel uncomfortable, like please do not. And he gave up, and he said like, okay, anyway you behave like you should, so okay, if you don't want to go to the church, it's your business. Okay, Darinka. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Agu. Agugu. Agugu. And I think Darina is, you know, if God exists, then I would say thank you very much for sending me this angel, for trusting us, this beautiful small angel. Yeah, Agu. Even though it's hard to have 3 children, you know, maybe some of you know, but this was our Kinder surprise. You know, I'm 36 years old, my husband is 37, and yes, we had 2 children before, and we know how to make children. And the first 2 kids were very well planned and desired, and we worked hard, let's say, to make them. And Darina was I don't know how she managed to, you know, but she just came to our family as a surprise, like, hi, I want to be with you. And here we are. I knew it will be hard, but it's now even harder because I have my husband by my side right now, so I'm a single mom with 3 children. Moreover, it's the war. Oh, so it's really difficult, really, guys, difficult to be a single mom at war. But you see, she is a blessing for us. Yes, I think she makes us very strong. I think she makes me very strong, and my husband too. Sergey is on duty. We keep in touch. He says, guess what, that he is fine. Mr. I'm fine. In Kiev, it is pretty quiet right now, pretty calm, even though these days very often we have air raid on, because after Ukrainian army destroyed the ship called Moscow, they are very angry and they threaten us. There is information that is maybe just a fake information, I don't know, but this is what we have, like in the news, that like more rumors that the Russian other ships, they are right now in the sea preparing some massive launch of missiles towards Ukraine. The others say that Russia doesn't have that many missiles left. But we really asked by our Ukrainian authorities, by the mayor of Kiev, by the president, if you hear the air alarm, you better hide from it. Another problem that sometimes it's not very easy to do. Yes. Like buy shelter, it's not available 24/7. Like I can go there like in the evening. And I don't know, people who sell something in the supermarkets, for example, or in the pharmacy, they do not stop working if there is air alarm. They keep working where they are. So like it's double standards that we often have in Ukraine, that you have there something to do on paper, but in reality it's not easy to do. So on paper we are told to hide in case of the air alarm. In reality there are not enough of places to hide, they are not very good, and we have to do at the same time, continue working or whatever. And yes, maybe because we are brave, maybe because we are a little, how to say, but this is Ukrainian. Yeah, this is very, very Ukrainian. Sometimes it's our weak side, sometimes this is our strong side. Yeah, but this is part of our mentality. But of course, it really warms my heart when I see how much people right now become big fans of Ukraine, and that you right now start to learn more and more aware of Ukraine. I have mobile internet right now. Me personally, I know that in some villages there is Starlink working, but in Kiev, no problems with mobile connection. I'm just using my SIM card for internet. It's very available. It's very affordable. It's very cheap. Mobile internet in Ukraine. No, I didn't order a solar charger. Do you really think I need to order this? I will take a look how much it costs, and if it's reasonable, I will buy it, because we have to develop green technologies anyway. Yeah, and it's a good thing to have. Ukrainians will be an emblem of strength throughout the world for many generations to come. I hope so. Yeah, but first we need, victory. And we need to win all together. And we will. Yes, we have to do this. I think Darina will be crying soon. She will want to be on my hands, or she will want to drive somewhere to see something more. And maybe she is already cold because she is not dressed very well. Well, more or less okay. Maybe now we will go back home to cook some lunch for us. Yes, Darinka. Agu. 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 Vivi's staff is saying that it's not really helping. Why the solar charger is not really helping? I have to read about this more. I never saw a solar charger in Ukraine, like the portable one. Easter blessing and prayers from California. Thank you. You will celebrate your Easter tomorrow. Oh, right? So maybe it's too early to congratulate you. But I hope I will do this tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, we will have a guest. My sister promised to come, and my sister will have her birthday tomorrow. She will turn 46 years old. She's 10 years older than me. So you see, in spring we have many birthdays. I have a birthday, had it already. My sister will have it tomorrow. Katya will have it in May. Both my sister and Katya say that they will celebrate after the war, but I will buy a cake anyway. Maybe I just love cakes, you know, love sweets, and I eat a lot of sweets. My kids too. That was the ladybug. Okay, guys. Solar charger needs actual sunlight. It was a pleasure to talk to you, as always. Да, поїхали. So kids want to go back to the car, they are cold, and so on. Поїхали в машину, да, ходімо. So it was pleasure to talk to you. Really have a nice day. Wish you to have wonderful celebrations tomorrow. To those of you who celebrate tomorrow, of course. I'm not sure if you can see me because I think I'm frozen on the screen. I hope you really hear us. So it was pleasure to talk to you guys. Goodbye.
Буде Даринка.
Goodbye.
Буде малючок.